How's it going, YouTube? JamieTheKid00 here, coming to you guys with a Harpie deck profile. A few of you guys have been asking for this deck. It was a little while back. It was, I think, before the ARGCS that Billy Break topped at using Jeff Jones's list. But after watching all that, I will say it got me a bit hyped up to play Harpies. I tested it around on Dueling Network and I managed to pick up the stuff relatively cheap. So I ended up putting together my own build of it, basically. This does borrow a few things from Jeff Jones's build, but also it borrows things from the way I've been comfortable playing the deck. I've really been enjoying playing the Card-Card-D variant, simply because you lack monsters in this. There are so few monsters that you kind of need in this deck, and everything else that you could play, other than maybe Thunder King, is pretty bad. So, in order to supplement that lack of monsters, I decided to play Card-Card-D. I like, some people will reason that that's not a great card to put in there, but it's something that I've been enjoying while I've been testing it. This is just my Dueling Network deck profile. I know that Dueling Network isn't an accurate testing environment, realistically, but I've been too busy testing Mermails for regionals to actually test Harpies in real life. And to be honest, I'm not sure for how long I'll have this deck assembled, because I've been testing Dino Rabbit again, and a lot of these cards are in my Dino Rabbit deck. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys the list. This is what I've been enjoying, and there are a couple of things I would change if I had the cards. So let's get into it. Of course, playing double Card-Card-D. I didn't have room for the third, is my long story short explanation. Two seems to be working great. It's just a really nice opening card. If you go first and summon this and use this fade, like, you are in a great position. Some of my favourite plays are like having Card-Card-D, Hysteric Sign, Pot of Duality, and that's like one of the best opening turns for me, and you know, set 4. But it's outrageous, so I love Card-Card-D. I love these two. I realised I put the mat a little too far forward, so I'm currently pushing down on some spare change, so sorry about the noise. The only other non-Harpie card I play in the monster lineup is one Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. This card has a great interaction with cards like Hysteric Sign and Hysteric Party, and even Harpie's Hunting Ground if you don't want to pop it. You can just have this guy in your grave. Like, you can summon him when you've got an opportune moment. He's pretty easy to summon, and he's great fun to discard off of Hysteric Party when you activate that. You can do crazy stuff with this, like, say you activate the Hysteric Party, which is like return from the different dimension. It's an absolutely stupid card. Discarding this, you bring out, say, like 4 Harpies, you make 2 Xyzes, and then you bounce the Hysteric Party to your hand to special summon this guy. You can just do all sorts of really cool plays like that. He just enables you to recycle cards. He enables you to bounce your Mistake back to your hand if you want to use your Pot of Duality, or if you want to search with something else. So Zephyros is a guy. Sorry if I seem a bit distracted, by the way. There seems to be random banging about coming from downstairs, so I'm not sure what that's about. I then played one Harpie's Pet Dragon. I really wish I didn't have to play this card, and a lot of the time I find myself wishing I could play Tempest. But this is literally in here to be summoned by Channeler, but it's a really awkward card. I draw it a lot. I was testing 2, and 2 was horrific. I hate playing 2, but Harpie's Pet Dragon is something that's in here. I'm playing 2 Dancer. Now, a friend of mine is also building this deck, and he commented on how he disliked 2 Dancer and preferred 3. But this is a card that I feel once you get to, and it's relatively easy to get to because of Hysteric Sign, once you get to this, it's just going to clog if you have more. You only really want to have 1 cycling in your hand at one point. So I have the 2 in case 1 dies, because it's an incredibly powerful card in tandem with the field spell. But I don't like having 3. I just don't. It's I guess call it player preference. I know some people like 3 of this, but I feel that once you've seen the 1, once you have the 1, it's so survivable. Like Wildnut Rabbit, you don't want to find the other one. So that's my explanation for them. I then play 3 copies of, in my opinion, probably the second best card in the deck after Dancer. 3 copies of Harpie Channeler, best monster anyway. Harpie Channeler is incredible, and it was the boost that this deck needed to kind of get itself on its feet again after some of the really old Harpie stuff. This card, in tandem with Harpie's Pet Dragon, can make you any rank 7, any generic rank 7, and then in tandem with just anything else can make you any of your myriad 4s that you play. So this card opens up a lot of plays. It's virtually costless because of the fact that if you pitch a Harpie, you can res that Harpie off of Hysteric Party. You can pitch things like Hunting Ground for its effect. You can just do really cool stuff with it. And in my opinion, as I said, yeah, it's pretty costless when you think about the fact that you're going to be getting back whatever you paid as the cost. So I feel like I should say more things about that, but like I kind of don't really feel the need to. I'm going to move on to the next card, which I wish I could replace, but I don't have any. I'm playing 3 copies of Harpie Lady 1. These should be Cyber Harpies. Harpie Lady 1 is really good when you have a multitude of Harpies on your field that this can actually boost. And don't get me wrong, it is a good card, but Cyber Harpie is a better card because it is a constant 1800 vanilla, whereas this card is only ever 1600 and then 1800 due to the field spell. The reason why this card is considered a little bit worse than Cyber Harpie Lady is because of the smaller monster count in the deck. This card is often alone a lot more than you may think, and it's only powerful during the combo plays. Because 1800 is actually pretty easy to beat over, and that's with a field spell. Alone, it's 1600. So, it's a so-so card, and I wish they could be Cyber Harpies, but I don't have any. And then the last monster I play, I don't like hand traps in this deck, I don't think they're necessary in this, is 3 copies of Harpie Queen to search out our field spells. I love this, I don't know what to call them, like monster discard field speller, like Gravekeeper's Commandant type card. This is my favourite one, simply because you can ditch this card, and then it actually has a valid purpose in the graveyard rather than just searching the field. It's actually really good in the grave because then you can just Hysteric Party it back. So it's one of the few that can actually be resurrected and have a good purpose, other than I think like Zoridus, which you can banish for Hyperion. But yeah, 3 queen. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit despondent about this. I felt like I had more to talk about, but like Harpies are a really, in my opinion, simple deck to understand. Like they have some really powerful plays, but they're a relatively simple deck when it comes down to it. For the spells, there is something that I would change, but we will get to that in a minute. I play the 1 Dark Hole and the 1 Book of Moon. Book of Moon I feel is really versatile this format, so I really like this card in decks that have room for it. 2 Pot of Duality. These are 2 cards which I would love to change. I want these 2 dualities to be a Terraforming and a Divine Wind of Mist Valley. I don't actually have a Divine Wind of Mist Valley, so that's why these 2 are Pot of Dualities, to kind of fill in the blanks. They're like Upstart Goblins, I guess, in that sense. But this should be a Divine Wind, and this should be a Terraforming. The Terraforming is valid because it can get you either the Divine Wind if it's still in deck, or you can just burn it on a hunting ground, so it's never that dead. And then Divine Wind, sadly, is at 1, but Divine Wind has some incredibly powerful plays with Harpie's Dancer and Zephyros, so I feel that Divine Wind is something you should be playing. And then for the last one of, for the only one of Harpie type card, I play 1 Elegant Egotist because it can be recycled with Hysteric Sign. So Egotist. For the multiples, I only play 2 multiples. I play 3 copies of Hysteric Sign. I think this card is incredible in tandem with the field spell, which we'll get to in a minute, but I'll put one down here. In tandem with the field spell, this card is incredible. The fact you can go like turn 1, play it, search Egotist, and then turn 2. Play Hunting Ground, summon your Harpie, and pop your Hysteric Sign, and then you get to search for 3 Harpies. That's an incredibly strong search card to be able to search for 3 Harpie cards. And then I played the 3 Hunting Ground, A, to get rid of my opponent's back row, and B, to get rid of these, so I get my free searches, because these are what create your survivability. The deck doesn't survive that well unless it can get to its monsters, and this card is its main way of getting to its monsters. I currently don't play MST in the deck because I feel that Hunting Ground kind of serves that purpose. But I do side 3 MST because of Skill Drain. Because Skill Drain is incredibly damaging to this deck, which I will point out quickly now. While Skill Drain is up, Harpie's Dancer, Harpie's Channeler, and Harpie Queen do not count as Harpie Ladies on the field. So they can't pop stuff with Hunting Ground, and they can't be Elegant Egotisted either. So you got to watch out for that Skill Drain. Skill Drain is really powerful against this. For the trap lineup, this is a really strong trap lineup. I love this trap lineup. I really enjoy decks that can play loads of traps. That's why I've been testing Dino Rabbit again, which I'll actually be profiling soon. I just love decks that can play loads of traps. I love a control game. So I'm playing 3 copies of Hysteric Party. Some people play less than this, but I'm a really aggressive player with this deck, I guess. Sometimes, yes, it does draw dead a little bit, but the good thing is you can discard 1 for the other one if you really have 2 clogging. I just really, really enjoy the fact that the card gives you a massive power play when otherwise the deck doesn't have that strong a power play. I mean, you can spam by going Channeler, Egotist, I guess, but otherwise that's about as many monsters you can put on board at one time. So Hysteric Party gives you a viable OTK system, and I just think this card is good. Then for the generic traps, I say generic. I'm playing Double Mistake. I've been itching to play this card for the longest time, and I saw Jeff Jones playing it in his build, so I thought, hey, why not if it works for him? I love this card at the moment. It's pretty strong against... it has a strong-ish match against Mermail, I guess, but it's really, really strong against Hieratic Ruler, Fire Fist, and Bujin. So that's why this card is in here for those matchups. Double Fiendish Chain. I guess I could bump this up to 3, but it's okay. I find it clogging a little bit because there are a lot of things that stick face up in your spell trap card zone in this deck. Namely, your signs, parties, and the Fiendish Chains when they become dead. So if you don't have a Hunting Ground to clear your back row, things can get a bit clogged in the back row. But Double Fiendish Chain is a thing. I don't know, maybe I'd make it Breakthrough Skill, but I really like this card. Double Mirror Force, because Mass Destruction is Mass Destruction. And then I play 5 one-offs in the form of 1 Icarus Attack. I think the Icarus Attack is alright in this deck. It's just something that I like to hold. All your monsters are really important, so using it is really a last moment situation. You really don't want to use it unless you absolutely have to. But it's in there to turn your opponent's 1-for-1 Bottomless versus Harpie into a 2-for-3 when you can Icarus your Harpie and then take out 2 more of your opponent's cards, meaning they've just lost 3, whereas you've lost 2. So it turns your 1-for-1 into a +1, which is kind of sometimes needed with this deck in the simplified game states that it can generate. And then for the final one-off traps, I play 1 Compulse, which I'm starting to like less and less this format. Maybe I'll cut this. 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, and 1 Solemn Warning. So that is the main deck, if I can pick it up. There we go. I have to do an awkward camera angle because of this new desk. So that's the main deck. The extra deck is experimental at the moment, and I've probably completely overlooked something that I shouldn't have. I'm just kind of having a last little look at it before I expose it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. This is literally everything I make on my Dueling Network testing, so here it is. I play, to start off, double Lightning Chidori. Lightning Chidori is your go-to guy in this deck. It is summonable by exceeding 2 level 4 wins, and when it succeeds summoned, it spins one of your opponent's set cards to the bottom of the deck, and then you can detach 1 material from it once per turn to bounce one of their face-up cards to the top of their deck. So you can create some pretty strong Riser-type locks with this card if they keep putting the card face-up, which they really shouldn't, or if they have multiple cards that you can put on top of their deck. You can Riser-lock your opponent if they don't have a way around it. And it's just an incredibly strong card in that when it comes out, it's automatically going to spin a face down. So if it gets bottomless, you're still doing something with it, rather than it just dying instantaneously. And then if it manages to survive and stick, you're going to go +1. Well, I not really +1. I guess it depends on how you summoned it. But you're going to 2 for 2 because you use 2 materials to make it. You're going to spin 2 cards. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Then we play 2 copies of Ice Beast Zero Fine. This is, in my opinion, the best card in the extra deck, and thank you to my friend Dave who loaned me these because I just didn't have any. I don't understand where my Zero Fines are, but I don't have any Zero Fine. I'm going to read its effect to you though because this card is ridiculous. It's a Water Winged Beast, which takes 2 level 4 Winged Beast type monsters to summon. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls, and if you do, this card gains 300 attack for each face-up card currently on the field except this card. Now, let's just sit back and think for a moment about the amount of face-up cards this deck on its own keeps on the field. It keeps Hunting Ground, it keeps Fiendish Chain, it keeps Hysteric Party, and Hysteric Sign face-up. And you're going to be having monsters out. If you go Hysteric Sign into this, and you've already got Hunting Ground, for example, that's Hunting Ground, Signs, that's 2, and plus any other monsters you still have out, plus however many face-up cards your opponent has. This card is regularly reaching the 3Ks for me, if not higher, so this is a ridiculously strong card. I really like it. And it also helps you get around some really weird stuff that can't be targeted. It helps you get around Leo, which is kind of an awkward card for you to get around. Leo, the Keeper of the Secret Tree, or Protector of the Secret Tree, something along that nature. But this card is ridiculous. And it helps you get around things like Silent Auroch, stun your opponent's guys for... I'm just actually checking to see how long it negates things for. Applies until your next standby phase. So while this also negates stuff and you can like attack over one thing, it also keeps all that stuff negated into your opponent's next turn as well. So this is ridiculous. Sorry, I forgot how long its clause was. I thought it was in your opponent's turn as well. I'm then currently testing two number 101 Silent Arc, because this card is just a really good problem solver. Similar to Zerifine, just gets you around things. Gets you around so many awkward things. So I figured, why not play it? Why not play two? It's pretty easy to make with Channeler and Party. Then for the one of guys, I play one Dweller, because Mermail is seeing more play, and it's pretty good against Heretics. The one Evil Swarm Exiton Knight, because you can go minus with Channeler to summon this. And you can get your plus. If you go two guys into one of this on like turn 1, you are now 5 cards to your opponent's 6. There you go, your minus, use its effect. One Maestroke, because it's, in my opinion, the strongest rank 4. Still, I guess, slightly behind these two now. It was the strongest rank 4. I like Arc aggressively a bit more than this, but this guy has a bit more versatility. Like, setting things is pretty cool. One Diamond Direwolf. This actually has a bit more validity in this deck, because it can kill a Wing Beast type monster to target another card on the field and destroy it. So it can kill one of your Wing Beasts and kill one of your opponent's cards, so he's pretty cool. One Cowboy, because 800 burn for game is cheap, but it's a thing that's in the game, so why not play it? One Digusto Emerald, because, hey, recycling things is pretty cool. Putting your Harpie's Pet Dragon back in the deck is pretty good, which is something I've done multiple times, so I really like the card. And then I play 3 sevens for the Harpie's Pet Dragon play with Channeler, and I consider playing Tempest to make these plays even more consistent. I play one Dracosac because, in my opinion, it's the go-to generic rank 7. One Big Eye for stealing yo shit. And then one number 74 Master of Blades, which in my opinion is a really strong card against Fire Fist, because literally they have to target stuff to kill it, other than by Darkholing, so this card is ridiculous against that deck. So yeah, guys, and it's 27, which is bigger than the other two, and it can be really awkward for a lot of your opponent's decks to get around, so I just really like the guy. So yeah, guys, this has been a Harpie deck profile. I'm sorry I've been a bit here and there. I've been a little bit busy recently. Valentine's Day is coming up, had a few things to book, things like that. So, if you've got any questions, any comments on the way I've built this, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. And if they're hateful comments, please feel free to go post them someplace else. Yeah. Otherwise, that's about everything I wanted to say. Please go check out my recent card review videos. I'm asking you guys what cards you want me to review. So please go check out the Exiton video and the Silent Honor Arc video. I keep calling it Shark. Silent Honor Arc video. And yeah, otherwise, that's about everything. I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. This has been Jamie the Kid 00. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.